And what's up, everybody? So today we're talking about Izanagi. I just wanted to talk about this because I really thought about it in my head, and I'm like, yo, the only person who could actually use such a technique is Danzo himself. No other Uchiha could actually use it, maybe except for Itachi, because he's the only person who is willing to kill his own clan member for the betterment of society. Now, I personally disagree with the whole, oh, you had to kill my whole clan just to make the leaf better. I don't really agree with that, but I will say the only two people in the Naruto verse who could actually use, three people actually who could use Izanagi is Danzo, Itachi, and Orochimaru. Because Orochimaru specifically, because he could create Sharingan from scratch somehow. I don't know how he did it, but I know in Boruto he created Sharingans, and he even eventually created a Mangekyo Sharingan. But the funny thing is he never gave himself that eye. And I think the reason he never gave himself that eye is because he just didn't have the body to really be able to withstand such a jutsu's chakra consumption. That's really what I believe. But he's also summoned the 3 Rashomon gates. So I really just don't understand where the logic comes into that. But I will just say, Danzo is really one of the only people who could ever use Izanagi because he's willing to kill other Uchiha members and literally rip their eyes out with his own personal hands in order to use such a technique to implant that into his body. He's the only person who is willing to actually go to take someone's eye out, put their eye in his arm, and actually use it as a basically vulture equivalent to an Izanagi ritual. It's a ritual. And there's a lot of people who have morals who will never do such a thing. Itachi, even though he killed his whole clan, it's not like he collected everybody's eyes and just took it. He just killed his whole clan because he felt like that was the right thing to do. He didn't take their eyes and use it for his own self-benefit. Because if he did such a thing, he would have had Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan when Shisui gave him his eye, and he had a Mangekyo Sharingan. So he could have just implanted his best friend's eye into his eye and got Mangekyo Sharingan. But he still had some kind of moral that said, nah, I'm really not with this. This is some crazy weird stuff that I just don't really agree with. And like I said, Orochimaru, he could have had Izanagi, but his funny thing is he steals people's bodies. He doesn't care about killing people for his research. So the only reason I feel like he never used the Izanagi is because the amount of chakra that is taken from the person who is using such a technique is just too great. And the funny thing is, I don't think Orochimaru has like an abnormal amount of chakra more than other people in the village. I think he actually has a lower amount of chakra, but he still wanted to be a ninja. That's kind of how I see Orochimaru, because a lot of the things just don't make sense. Like, he can activate Sage Mode through his son himself, but he himself in his body cannot activate Sage Mode. You know, he's a researcher, he's a nerd, you know what I'm saying? He looks at data and he's an analytic type person, and he's not the person who can actually go muscle bound into a fight. He just isn't that person. He's a tactician, but he's not a super strong bulky character. He's not a tank. So yeah, that's just kind of my take on the whole situation. Let me know what you think.